It was a rematch of the NBA Finals with the white-hot Celtics visiting the up-and-down Warriors. And incredibly, Golden State and Boston have flipped records this season compared to last year after the first 26 games. And the Warriors' biggest difference this year has been on defense. They were about 9 points better per 100 possessions at this point in the season last year on the defensive end, and that's the difference between being first in the West and 11th. But in this game, their defense looked revitalized, holding Boston to a whopping 15 points below their league average efficiency, and it started right from the opening possession. Even without wing stopper Andrew Wiggins for this game, the Warriors disrupted Boston's record-setting offense. Right away, you see Draymond Green picking up Jaylen Brown, as he did in the finals last year. Klay Thompson is off-ball connected to Jason Tatum. And even though he loses him for a second, he does a good job forcing him down to the baseline where he knows there's help. And on the skip pass, Draymond instantly closes back out to Brown and influences him left, an emphasis from last year's finals series. And by then, the possession is just completely fizzled out, and Marcus Smart, having few options, ends up with a contested fadeaway shot. Here come the Celtics in transition, and who's waiting for Jaylen but Draymond Green at the top of the circle, again shading him left, stays with the hesitation well, and even gets a pretty good contest. When the second unit came in, a unit that struggled this season, Donte DiVincenzo is picking up full court. He's in Malcolm Brogdon's grill, staying connected with him around the first screen, and then around the second screen again. Maybe there's a little miscommunication on a switch there with Moses Moody and DiVincenzo, but at this point the play is kind of broken. They'll live with a Blake Griffin 3, and when it ends up back in Tatum's hands inside 10 on the shot clock, he asks for a screen, and it's a good job by JaMychal Green jumping out high to pick him up on a switch. And again, it's another really successful active possession from the Golden State defense and a bailout shot against the clock. One thing that jumped out about their defensive effort in this game was in transition. You see Draymond cutting and finishing here, and now he's down flexing on the floor, and the Celtics get the ball out of the basket instantly. But Kevon Looney is in an all-out sprint to get back and stay in front of Malcolm Brogdon. Jordan Poole is there for help, and Looney comes up with a fantastic transition block. Here's another one off a missed shot where Looney goes to run to pick up a big, but they communicate well. He stays in the middle of the floor, does a good job walling off Brown's drive, and Jordan Poole comes down at the last second to block it away. Nice help there from Poole. One more transition example. Watch the effort on this one. Klay Thompson misses a 3, so you have a long rebound. Marcus Smart books it to try to beat everyone down the floor, but Klay is with him. Anthony Lamb is sprinting back, and watch Draymond. He's behind Jaylen Brown when the ball comes off the rim, but he works hard to stay with him, sprints down court to actually get back in front of him. That's because of Klay Thompson's effort getting down and showing himself in Jaylen Brown's path. Completely cuts off the lane, and then Brown is a dribble late with this pass, and that's all it takes in the NBA for a defender to be up on you instead of having a wide open 3. Tatum leaves it short with a hand in his face. A lot of people have commented on Tatum's performance after this game, and I thought the Warriors did a really nice job influencing him to tough spots. Looney is up high on the screen. He's a good switch defender. That forces him to pick up his dribble, and then when he goes and gets it back, it's again late clock. But if you look at the driving lane, there are 2 Warriors sitting in front of him, so he settles for a deep 3 instead. Very tough shot, influenced by the defense there. Here's another example where Looney ends up on him in a cross match, and he's just such a crafty defender that Tatum isn't really fast enough to blow by him easily. Looney wants to push him down to that baseline, knowing that the Warriors' weak side defender will help. It's Jordan Poole, and he actually fumbles it out of bounds, but gets the call to keep it. On this one, they push it down in transition. Active hands from Jonathan Kuminga to deflect the pass. Poole's all over it, but he can't quite stick the ball home. Tatum comes up with it, but DiVincenzo quickly rotates over. Draymond is ready to help on the corner. Those amazing hands slap the ball away. It's a steal and another empty trip for the Celtics. Boston's transition defense actually had a few issues in this game. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are just watching the play. Curry gets it, looks up, easy hit ahead for Klay Thompson and a layup. Next time down, it's deja vu. Smart ends up with an open three, and Poole leaks out on the contest, and that's usually this man's responsibility to get back. But again, they're just watching the ball. Curry plays pitch and catch, and it's another easy dunk. Now, Al Horford was out for the Celtics this game, and I thought that made a big difference because the Celtics hunted Blake Griffin, who stayed way back in the paint in a deep drop. That one was a 4-point play and a mini dance-a-thon, but there were a ton of twos as well. This time he pushes it inside the line and takes the 19-foot pull-up, and there's just no big man to contest on these plays. Curry wasn't the only one who attacked this Blake Griffin coverage. Here's Klay coming off 2 screens. The second one is set by Blake's man, so when he curls inside the line, there's a ton of space between him and Griffin to take this little easy 17-footer. Here's another one. This was a nice little play drawn up by Steve Kerr, where they set staggered screens for Curry, but Thompson slips the second screen to head toward Blake's area because he knows Griffin won't chase him too far out on the perimeter, catches it and gets a pretty good look, and it was just Klay's night. Here's one more example that I loved where Klay can curl off this screen. Instead, he rejects it and cuts back door. The Celtics switch it nicely at first, but then Grant Williams is slow to stay with Klay, so when he curls back out the other side, Blake Griffin isn't there to jump out and switch onto him. Even with Jordan Poole making the wrong pass to Looney, Looney still has time to turn and pitch it to Thompson, and there's no second defender to help when he comes off the screen. It's a great look and one of his 4 triples on the night. Klay ended up with 34 big points in this one, making a number of key shots and capitalizing on broken plays and offensive rebounds by drifting to open spots. And Klay Thompson returning to his previous form would be a huge development for this Warriors team. Since coming back from his big injuries, he's been under 40% from 3 for the first time in his career, and he's only at 41% on his mid-range shots this year. And most of this, to me, has been about his shot selection. Just 10% of Klay's offense this season has come at the rim or the free throw line. That's the 3rd lowest number in the entire league. So cutting out a few of these extra contested shots and finding a way to add more cuts or slashes to the basket could make a really meaningful difference for an already strong Warriors offense. And perhaps an even bigger development would be a return to form on defense. In this game, he was just as big on that end of the court, with a great recovery to save a layup here against Tatum. And watch a possession like this one, where he can use his strength and size to recover as Curry cuts off Tatum, and then those active hands to reach around for the steal. This role as a big wing stopper was a critical part of the Warriors' switching defense during the earlier years of their dynasty. And this was present against Boston in this game, making a number of defensive plays throughout the night. So, yes, the Warriors have played only 500 basketball to start the season, but they've been closer to a 50-win pace when Curry, Draymond, and Klay play. And if they can shore up their bench minutes a little bit and continue to play defense like they did against the Celtics, a rejuvenated Klay Thompson could be the X factor that sets them up for another deep playoff run when the spring rolls around. If you want more content, check out our new channel, More Thinking Basketball, which has shorts and extras that don't make it into these main videos. Of course, you can support us directly at patreon.com/thinkingbasketball, where we have our new website full of the leaderboards and stats that I use regularly to help make these videos. Hope you enjoyed this one as always, and wherever you are, that you are, of course, having a great day.